At first, it looked like a joke. A used toy on Vinted listed for 30,000 euros. But then people zoomed in on the description fields: age, height, weight, sizes. And that is when people feared these weren't actually toys, but coded child trafficking ads. Now, this massive claim is completely unproven, but the panic grew so loud that French authorities officially opened a preliminary investigation. This is the story of the marketplace listings that felt too human. Vinted isn't some hidden website on the dark web. It's an everyday app. Use it to clear out your closet, buy a cheap jacket, or find secondhand shoes. It is entirely ordinary. And that is precisely why this messed with people so badly. When you see something bizarre on a sketchy website, your guard is already up. But when the uncanny valley opens up inside a normal app, it hits your brain completely different. 1 second you're looking at a vintage sweater. The next you're staring at a listing for a plush doll, wondering why the price looks less like retail value and more like a ransom note. That's where the panic took root. Let's separate the noise from the reality right now. The core allegations driving this viral storm was child trafficking. Not because there was evidence of it happening, but because a combination of toy photos, insane prices, and human-sounding details in the description made people feel like they were looking at a code. That distinction is everything. We're not saying children were being sold on Vinted. We're saying that everyday users feared that's what the listings were hinting at. And that fear got big enough for officials to look into it. The pattern people were pointing at followed a very specific, repeatable blueprint. Step 1. The photo. A harmless mass-produced toy. A plushie. A plastic figure. Something completely forgettable. Step 2. The price tag. Completely detached from reality. We're not talking about a steep markup like 50 euros. The screenshots driving the viral thread showed numbers in the thousands. 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 euros. Now, if that was the entire story, it probably would have just ended up on a forum for funny marketplace fails. High prices don't inherently prove a conspiracy. Collectors exist, trolls exist, scammers exist. Sometimes people put absurd prices on items where they don't really want to sell, unless somebody wildly overpays. But it was step 3 that made everyone freeze: the description boxes. Users claimed they were seeing ages, heights, weights, and clothing sizes that felt less like a product description and more like a person being described. That's when the word code took over the conversation. Because once your brain entertains the idea that the toy might just be a cover image, every other detail instantly changes. The price isn't just a price. The age isn't just an age. The item photo isn't just an item photo. It all starts to feel like it's pointing at something else. But what happens when the real world authorities actually look into it? The answer changed everything. This is where the story changed. Most viral internet scares never leave the comment section. People panic, and they screenshot, and they argue, and then the whole thing burns out in 2 days. But this time, it went further. According to AFP reporting, carried by the Straits Times, the public prosecutor office in Nanterre, west of Paris, confirmed that the preliminary investigation had been officially opened late June 26, 2026. To be absolutely clear, this does not mean the darkest theory was proven. It means the concerns got serious enough to be checked by authorities instead of just being left to TikTok and Reddit. And that is a massive difference. So the story sits in this uncomfortable place. Not confirmed, not fully dismissed, just serious enough that people could not stop looking at it. But wait until you hear how the platform itself explained these numbers. Vinted did respond. Vinted said it was reviewing the listings being shared online and found no evidence linking the circulated listings to child trafficking activity. They also said some of the age details on toy listings can refer to the recommended age range for the toy. Like when a toy label says 3 plus, 6 plus, or is built for a specific age group. And honestly, that explanation is completely possible. Marketplace templates can make normal information look incredibly rigid and cold when separated from context. A seller can list a toy in the wrong category, or a field can look weird when it's auto-generated. In fact, the AFP reported that several of the sellers who were flagged online came forward and said they were genuinely just selling normal toys. This is why online investigations are so dangerous. It is incredibly easy for a blurry screenshot to turn an innocent account into a target. Once people think they are looking at something evil, they can stop seeing the possibility that some of these accounts are just normal sellers caught in a viral panic. But even with that explanation, a lot of people still felt uneasy, not because they had proof, but because the pattern looked wrong enough that their brain would not let it go. The way this spread was exactly how every modern internet mystery spreads now. Suddenly, thousands of people are looking at the exact same listing like it is evidence for the next horrible thing online. Some people were convinced that the price was the clue. Some thought the measurements were the clue. But it could just be people connecting dots that were never meant to connect. That is what made the story so addictive. Nobody was comfortable with any answer. If it was nothing, why did it feel so specific? If it was something, why would it be sitting on a public app where anyone could screenshot it? And if the internet was overreacting, why did the situation get serious enough for an investigation? To understand why people were so ready to believe it, we have to look at a completely different headline that dropped just months earlier. Another reason this story hits so hard is because people already do not fully trust normal platforms anymore. In November 2025, Reuters reported on separate Vinted-related concern in France, where the child protection chief asked a regulator to examine allegations that some ordinary ads redirected users, including minors, to adult websites. To be absolutely clear, that was a completely separate issue. It does not prove the toy listing theory, and it does not prove the trafficking allegations. But it explains why people were already primed to think a normal listing could be used as a backdoor doorway to something else. That is the part of the internet that feels different now. The scary stuff does not always look scary at first glance. Sometimes it looks like a normal post, a normal ad, or a normal listing. A lot of people naturally compare this to the old Wayfair controversy from 2020. And you can see why the human brain connects them. The shape of the fear is identical. Ordinary marketplace items, prices that make no sense, and a community convinced there's a code hiding in plain sight. But I do not think the comparison is really about Wayfair itself. It's about the recurring template of modern internet panics. The internet has this exact blueprint permanently burned into the brain now. So when the Vinted screenshots started moving around, people did not look at them like isolated weird listings. They looked at them like the next version of a story they already knew how to fear. And once a story fits that shape, it moves fast. What gets me about this story is not just the allegation. It's the way a completely normal app suddenly stopped feeling normal. Because the second people believed the toy might not be the product, everything changed. The price changed, the description changed, even the photo changed. Not physically, but in your head. Suddenly, a harmless toy looked like a mask. And that is a hard feeling to shake, even when the official explanation is sitting right there. Maybe some of these were misunderstood toy fields. Maybe some were troll listings or scams. Maybe some sellers were just normal people who got dragged into something way bigger than their listing. And maybe there was enough weirdness in the noise that authorities felt it needed to be looked at closer. That is why I don't want to give this one a clean ending, because the facts do not fully kill the feeling. They just make the feeling harder to place. So I want to know what you think. Was this the internet connecting dots that were never meant to connect? Or did people notice something they were not supposed to notice? Drop your thoughts below. This is Punxx Boy Files. If you like internet mysteries, Reddit stories, lost games, and any type of creepy internet rabbit holes, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.